Hello everyone. Today's video will be relaxing and visually satisfying. We want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's get it on. If you're looking at this magic and thinking, "Oh, just take my money and bring me that," well, congratulations, you're not alone. Thousands of users asked the author of this video about this incredible device, how it works, and where you can buy it, though the answer will probably disappoint you. This is an ordinary wet vacuum cleaner, and it sucks the moisture out from the rug, not dirt. It's just powerful enough not to leave a single drop in the pile. Seems like another trend has come to replace satisfying videos where users tear the film off the screens of new gadgets. Now, they share footage of ice. You've got to admit, it looks great too. Especially when the water freezes in a bucket in such a bizarre way. The author of this video got a perfect shape, but this guy's result is a little worse, most likely because of the spade. Of course, no one will try to make an ice bucket on purpose, but this experiment is definitely worth recreating at home. You just need to fill several balloons with water, put one of them into the other, and place them in the freezer. Can anyone explain why it's so pleasing to watch and hear this? We guarantee that you'll never guess what this log will turn into. We're quite used to thinking that most types of art require a decent set of tools. For example, even a novice artist can't do without a couple of pencils, brushes, and paints. Though to create sculptures out of wood, one chainsaw is enough, at least for such a master as the guy in this video. The creators of these videos gave us a true miracle. Let's take a balloon, fill it with water, and throw a playing card into it. Sounds like some kind of nonsense. Who could have thought that it would look so beautiful? Looks like magic, right? The artist creates incredibly realistic figures of people, although the movements of his pencil are barely noticeable. Gradually, the sheet is filled with a crowd of tiny people, and the most amazing thing is that they're all very detailed and completely different. Each has its own pose, costume, or some object in their hand. By the way, in this drawing, you can see Sadako, the creepy girl from the movie The Ring. Share in the comments if you manage to find her. But sometimes you just can't do without a special garden tool. Like in this case, it hurts to watch how this rough patch ruins an otherwise smooth wall. Calm down though, these guys will fix everything now. Just a couple of movements of the lawnmower and you already feel relieved, don't you? No, this is not some kind of equipment for rhythmic gymnasts, but a fishing net. It's called a cast net, or simply a parachute. We think you've already guessed why. It takes a lot of skill to make the perfect throw and allow the net to open up into the correct circle. The guys in this video are clearly not doing this for the first time. These sinkers fixed around the perimeter of the net will drag it to the bottom, and most of the fish school will be trapped.
The super strong waterproof tape!
The meme with the man who seals the hole in the water tank with a piece of tape has not yet sunk into oblivion, so you've probably seen it, right? It's usually used in situations where someone solves a serious problem in a silly or seemingly useless way, which nevertheless ultimately works. Pressurized water coming out of a hole in a pipe? No problem for duct tape. We don't know how effective the invention is in real life, but watching this video is truly satisfying. To begin with, the girl sprays the glass with some kind of solution similar to Mountain Dew, and you might expect it to clean itself. But then, this nimble robot brush comes into play. Remote control, multiple speed modes. Why haven't we seen this gadget in the stores yet? Most likely because the video was filmed as a prank. At least that's what most users think. What we see is an ordinary magnetic double-sided brush, controlled by a man on the other side. Quite a creative prank. The guys almost managed to fool us, don't you think? This is not a device for mass hypnosis, although it might as well be. This is a sculpture called Lord of the Wind, and it's located in China. Many people say that this art object seems alive, and this makes it look even more mesmerizing. By the way, most scientists claim that if aliens existed, they wouldn't look like humans. Maybe they'd look something like that. Many people find it satisfying to watch snow being removed from some area. They also say that one of the things you can watch forever is fire burning. No wonder that if you combine these two things, you get an amazing video. You might think that Chuck Norris or Jason Statham deal with snow this way, but no. An ordinary guy from Utah can afford to tidy up the yard with a flamethrower. The method looks cool, but it's not that efficient. Those who've tried it say that the melted water freezes again and turns into charred ice. Isn't it wonderful to watch this machine make the dirt disappear and the pavement start to shine like new? It has a great calming effect. Imagine how good the driver must be feeling. He turns on some upbeat music in the cabin, looks at the cleaning process in the rearview mirror, and doesn't even notice when his shift is over. We don't know about you, but we can't take our eyes from this rotating thing with the brave guys inside. A real hypno-circle. You even forget that you're actually looking at an extremely dangerous trick. Some crops need to be planted quite deep in the soil. Ever wondered how they grow them on an industrial scale though? Well, here's the answer to your question. A magical scene, isn't it? A special machine literally tears the ground open with powerful sharp blades. The operator throws seedlings into the trench, and the wheels located at an angle close the seam. Looks more like a real surgical operation than ginseng planting. You are now watching the master preparing a special mold and setting up a special tool. Did you guess the purpose of this weird structure? To make all perfectionists happy, of course. In fact, large clay bowls are made this way, and obviously they should have a perfectly smooth surface. The worker requires some time to position the blade as close to the mold as possible, and then he creates the future bowl layer by layer. By the way, do you have any idea where such large bowls could be used? Just think about it. It's just simple dough, which the pasta machine squeezes out in thin strips. So why is it so pleasant to look at, as if it was some work of art? However, such pasta can also be considered a masterpiece. By the way, the secret of this bright color is not about using artificial additives, only flour, liquid, and natural herbs, which give the pasta a green tint. We even feel like getting such a device and treating ourselves with a culinary show more often. The important thing is not to start eating spaghetti all the time. This guy recently made several million Twitter users look at a bush over and over again. Although, of course, that wasn't quite an ordinary bush. James Todman from Great Britain is a master of topiary, the art of creating sculptures from shrubs. In general, artists like James can shape the plant into almost any animal or famous architectural monument, but this boxer's ball looks even cooler. Seems like it's filled with water. Interestingly enough, James didn't use an automatic clipper here. He only worked manually. You've probably seen gloves with a special coating in a hardware store. So, this is how they're made at the factory. Gloves are put on a special machine that immerses them in a bath with a solution. The question is how to stop thinking about doing this with your own hand. It would, of course, be great if the buns grew on the walls like mushrooms. So you could just pick them up, like the guy in this video. In fact, these buns are cooked in a special oven called a tandoor. When its walls are hot, they sprinkle it with water and simply glue the dough on. And then the delicious crunchy buns are torn off. This baking method exists in many countries, but these particular buns are made in the Xinjiang region of China. They say that such bread is much tastier than usual. The crust looks really delicious, don't you agree? But now you can see what the perfect mini dam looks like. Just learn from this man from China. He decided to build a small replica of the three gorgeous George's hydroelectric power station on the Yangtze River in front of his house. The real power station is the heaviest structure on the planet, weighing 65.5 million tons, so the proportions, as you understand, had to be slightly adjusted. But look how serious he is about his project. Real cement walls, railings, and even a water release mechanism made from a lifting board. Of course, it doesn't look too much like the famous hydroelectric power station, but the result is still impressive. Hold on a second. Do you want to see some crazy stories from real life? Nothing dull, only action, only adventures, chases and fights, love confessions and sudden betrayals. Don't believe us? Well, follow the link and see for yourselves. Our animation channel Private Diary reveals the deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe.